Ladies and gentlemen, can you please take your seats? Okay, one last time. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Okay, I'm going to get started. What's great is we have 900 and some odd business leaders in the room, which is absolutely a terrific display for the city of Edmonton. The bad news is you all know each other and won't stop talking, so I'm just going to bring it down a little bit and we're going to get the show on the road. On this absolutely fantastic, bright, sunny Alberta day, which they all should be like this, I'd like to first of all welcome everyone to Edmonton Economic Impact Lunch for 2013. We're sold out with over 900 business leaders in the room. We've got members of the Legislative Assembly. We've got members of Parliament. We've got mayors. We've got councillors, and a number of people who I would normally refer to as distinguished guests. And I welcome you all and thank you all for coming. We at EEDC are truly humbled by the support you've shown for this event, the interest you have in being part of our great business community. My name's Brad Ferguson, and I'm the new President and CEO of Edmonton Economic Development Corporation. And on behalf of my board, I'd like to welcome you to our inaugural event. I wanted to change things up this year a little bit and have a once-a-year lunch as opposed to a twice-a-year lunch, so we could talk about the realities facing our economy and the opportunities for us moving forward. And that's a little different than being a prognosticator about what the price of oil might be or the price of gold might be, and it really gets us focused on what are the things driving this economy. And I'm absolutely delighted to have Rick George, the former CEO of Suncor, here to help bring our story together and really talk about Alberta, the future, and some of the opportunities and limitations that we have in the province. I think it's important that once a year we present our organization's statement of intent, which really defines our strategic direction and priorities for the next 12 months. As opposed to a business plan that really gets carved out in stone for a 12-month period, we created a statement of intent that everybody has on their table in front of them that really creates the opportunity and some flexibility for an organization like ours to adapt in really what is an ever-changing environment. However, part of today is about being absolutely clear about the expectation of what you should have for Edmonton Economic Development's performance and how we should be held accountable to not only City Council, but to you as the Edmonton business community. And having an event like this, I'm delighted that we have Rick, our speaker, and a number of guests, but also we couldn't have put this on without a couple of really key sponsors. The first is our title sponsor, which is PricewaterhouseCoopers, who really has taken a leadership role in helping us design the event, as well as partners like PTI Group, which supplied the book that everybody has on their chair. which I think is just a wonderful gift and a statement and support for Rick and his book. AVW Tel Aviv, which has produced this new technology behind us that's never been shown at the Shaw. Thank you for your support. The Edmonton Journal's our media partner, CGI Group and the Brick, and of course the Shaw Conference Center. So please join me in acknowledging their support. Now, I love a good Canadian success story like the rest of you do, and CGI is one of those stories that I don't think a lot of people know about. And what I love most about this story is it really all started with two 26-year-old Canadian entrepreneurs back in 1976 in a basement with one client, one phone, and a whole lot of ambition. And 1 year in business, at the end of their first year, they generated $138,000 of revenue, and today it generates $138,000 every 3 minutes. From its early days as really just an IT consulting firm, CGI's gradually developed into a full-service IT business, business process outsourcing, systems integration, as a total complete offering. And what I like about their story is they grew through market expansion, through product development, through innovation, and really a zest for entrepreneurism, which is kind of the essence of the story we're going to talk about today. And with their last acquisition of Logica, they're now up to 72,000 employees in more than 40 countries around the globe. CGI is a serious player. They're also a serious partner of ours today. And they understand the importance of helping the local community grow and expand their businesses here in Edmonton. And they're a great corporate partner in stepping up, and I'd like to just acknowledge them and thank them for being a big part of today. I'd also like to thank the entire team at EEDC. There are a lot of people that aren't here today because we couldn't fit them in that are back watching this online, as well as the people at the Shaw. I'd like to thank them for the work they did in the day's luncheon, but also welcoming me as the CEO into the organization. Some of the patience they're showing with the transition that we're making from an organization's point of view, and also the enthusiasm they have for the future. They're a great group of people. Like I said, our luncheon is being viewed online at edmonton.com/impact, as well as the edmontonjournal.com site. And for anyone that's following on Twitter, our hashtag is #YEGImpact, which is really the #YEG impact, with no spaces. And I encourage anyone to follow along or be a part of things as they, as a running commentary throughout the day. Now, Twitter and texting are great tools, but I had to take precautions today because I've got this enormous screen behind me to make sure what happened about a month ago never ever happens again. See, I was in Banff at a summit series, and I was one of the speakers, and there were a bunch of speakers, and one guy was driving the presentation off his laptop. And it was being shown behind him, and he had no idea what was going on. And this is a senior oil executive of one of the firms in Calgary. And of course, he decided to leave for Banff, and he forgot to leave the second set of keys at home for his wife for the car. So what happened behind him on the screen, and we had about half the people in the room, but we all watched the little feed come up. You know how if you don't turn that off, sometimes your text messaging comes up behind you? And it went like this. It went, "John, I hope you're enjoying Banff. If you reach into your pocket, you'll find your car keys. If you reach into your other pocket, you'll find my car keys. Don't worry about me. You'll be home in 48 hours. I'll survive." And it waited, pause. With nothing to do, I thought I'd get the furnace clean and the dishwasher fixed. His name is Enriquez. He tells me he can fix anything. Semicolon, bracket. No need to call, enjoy the conference. So I was a little intimidated when I saw this absolutely enormous screen behind me, and I wanted to make sure all technology was off. Back in September when we were planning this launch, I sat down with our title sponsor, PricewaterhouseCoopers, to talk about the event, as well as the challenges and opportunities facing our city. Barry James and PwC's new managing partner, David Bryan, who are two great friends and certainly champions of the community that I know you all know. and I know you all rely on in terms of ideas and insights and solutions, especially during uncertain times. We sat down and kind of planned out today and what we would do. PwC surveys all the CEOs across Canada every year on an annual basis, and as well as they provide tremendous thought leadership into our provincial government and many of the fiscal challenges that they face today. When I asked Dave and Barry about who from the government of Alberta we'd like to have to provide some opening comments, without question, they both talked about the need to have the President of the Treasury Board and the Minister of Finance to kick things off. Doug Horner may be from Barrhead, and he may have spent most of his life in rural Alberta. In fact, he comes from 3 generations of his family that have been involved in agriculture, in agri-food and agri-feed operations, successful throughout North America as well as international markets. But from my perspective, and I think our perspective here in the room, Doug Horner is one of the great local leaders that has a command of both the opportunities for Alberta and the fiscal challenges that need to be addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, to bring greetings and directional statements from the Government of Alberta, please welcome the Honourable Doug Horner.
Well, thank you very much, Brandon. To all of the dignitaries here and to the special guests, it is a pleasure for me to be here today. As President of the Treasury Board, Minister of Finance, and on behalf of the Government of Alberta and my colleagues who are in the audience, I would like to thank the Edmonton Economic Development Corp for inviting me to the inaugural event. I think it's vital, as Brad has said, to share ideas and talk about our growing economy, especially in a global context, because we are in a global economy. And Rick George, our keynote speaker, is the perfect person to talk to you about this topic. With decades of experience in the oil industry and dealing with international markets, he has a lot of valuable thoughts to share. As CEO of Suncor, he led an organization that was truly a pioneer in Alberta's oil sands industry, the first and one of the most innovative. Under his stewardship, Suncor, along with other Canadian energy companies, pioneered much of the technology and research that has brought us to where we are today. The 3rd largest proven oil reserves in the world, a stable source of energy for decades to come. There is no doubt the oil sands remain one of our most important resources, ensuring our province has the means and opportunity to provide Albertans with a great quality of life today and into the future. I know you join me in looking forward to hearing what he has to say about Alberta and its place in the world economy. We know this. Alberta is growing. Private forecasters such as CIBC, the Conference Board of Canada, BMO, RBC, all predict that Alberta will continue to be among Canada's growth leaders this year. Alberta's unemployment rate is at 4.5%, the lowest in the country. In comparison, the Canadian national average is hovering 7.1%. We also created 55,000 jobs in 2012. These were all full-time positions and were the most among all of the provinces. This is good news. People are coming to Alberta for these jobs. We expect Alberta's population to grow to 5 million people in the next 20 years. Enough new people to add a city bigger than the size of Edmonton again. And while our economy continues to perform, there are factors affecting our treasury. You've likely heard news over the past several weeks about the province's fiscal challenges. You're going to hear more. Most markedly is the price we get for our bitumen versus the world oil price. The difference is significant. That differential means less revenue for the province. And what that means is there are some challenges and challenging decisions ahead. The road to reaching fiscal balance and sustained economic strength is not always a straight or an easy one. As business leaders, you face these kinds of decisions every day. Which road will give you success? Which will create further challenges? And I'll be looking to many of you in this room for guidance as we move forward over the coming months. I want to congratulate the Edmonton Economic Development Corporation on their continued good work to promote entrepreneurship and help strengthen Edmonton's economy. You've shown determination and vision for where you want this city to go, and I support and admire that. Looking forward, I expect that 2013 will be a year filled with challenges, but also opportunities. including opportunities for growth. Edmonton companies are well positioned to thrive and grow in this global economy, and government is committed to keeping it that way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your province. This is your community, and your government is committed to making the decisions that will enable you to continue to grow and prosper. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you, Minister Horner. It's fair to say that Edmonton has no bigger champion, no bigger supporter, one who is more enthusiastic and visionary than our mayor. Since his election in 2004, Mayor Mandel has been and continues to be a strong advocate for municipalities, a regional approach to growth, arts and culture scene, and entrepreneurism, and the list goes on and on. This year, Mayor Mandel and his fellow council colleagues have challenged us at EEDC to think big, be bold, and most importantly, make us proud, and to push Edmonton to reach the next stage of its growth and development. New to the stage, but certainly, and also new as a grandparent, him and his wife, his incredible wife, Lynn. Please welcome to the stage His Worship, Mayor Stephen Mandel.
Brad, thank you very much. One thing I was noticing that you look better on those screens than you actually do in real life. So it's a real positive for the new media efforts. So thank you very much. Rick, it's great to have you here. I'm one of the most creative and dynamic business individuals this province has ever had. And also, don't know if people realize the incredible environmental leadership you brought to Suncor. I think that's something that you were way ahead of the world, and I think we owe a great deal to you in the way you've handled the development of your wonderful corporation. So thank you very much. Minister Horner, I know you got a tough job. Someone's got to do it. We have our own budgets to worry about, so anyway. I'd like to welcome everybody here. It's great to see so much support within our community, by our business community, for our business community. We're truly blessed in this city, and I do believe we are, without question, the most entrepreneurial city in the country. There's no question that within our city we have so many people that see business as a way of building a great future. But from small business to a little bigger business, so on, we don't maybe have the biggest, but we have the best. I think that's a real tribute to the people in this room and to the kind of vision I hope that Brad is bringing to EEDC. It's a very wonderful time in our province. There's great opportunity, and I think that we're blessed to have leadership at the province that understands, I hope, in the budget, that just because times are a bit tougher, we shouldn't be looking at relinquishing the opportunities for those who need the help the most. So I would encourage you, Mr. Minister, that in these difficult times, there are people in Alberta that are not doing as well, that the reductions you're going to have to put in place will not impact their lives, because they're the ones that we need to make sure see Alberta as a great future for themselves. Those in this room today will all be able to be successful no matter what you do. There are people that build great companies and great futures. So to all of you, thank you for being here. Thanks to the plug for my grandson. We got to stop doing that. My daughter's going to kill me. So good luck. This is a wonderful day. I've just got to say just a second about Brad. You know, there's a transition in this city and a transformation of this city, and Brad is a big part of both of that. We're lucky to get someone so young, so vigorous, and so bright to lead our EEDC. And we're incredibly pleased the kind of things he's done in a very short time. And I think it shows that the young leadership in this community is in great hands. And we thank all of you very much, those who have been here a long time and those who are just starting. This is a great place to do business. Alberta has a great future, and each and every one of you will make it a better place to do business. Thank all of you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Mandel. I will be back on the podium at 12:20, where we begin the program with an introduction of our statement of intent, and then on to Rick George. In the meantime, please enjoy the incredible lunch. I asked Chef Simon to do his absolute best for you today to really put the Shaw Conference Centre on show. So enjoy that. Enjoy the great company at your table. I'll see you at 12:20. Thank you.